The lights burn hot inside the arena, casting long shadows across the canvas. As the crowd hums with expectation, that low electric murmur that only boxing can produce when something meaningful is about to unfold. Music rolls through the speakers, echoing off concrete and steel, and through the haze steps Ulugbek Sobirov of Uzbekistan. Braveheart by name, and as the night will prove, by nature. 26 years old, carved by years of discipline and sacrifice. Sobirov carries himself with a calm confidence that comes only from experience earned the hard way. This is a man who has traveled the long road through amateur glory, youth championships, and continental battles, forging his craft far from the spotlight before ever arriving on this stage. 16 victories, 10 of them inside the distance, speak to a fighter who knows how to finish, who understands when pain must be inflicted. He is no reckless brawler, but a craftsman with menace beneath the surface. A body puncher who invests early, patiently withdrawing interest later. The crowd senses it too, the way he moves, the way his eyes never wander. This is not his first time under bright lights, and he does not look overwhelmed. Tonight, the WBA Asia East Title waits in the shadows, a regional crown that carries more weight than gold alone, a stepping stone toward recognition, rankings, and relevance on the world stage. Sobirov knows this. Every fighter in the building knows this. Across the ring, another man prepares to contest that destiny, but for now the camera lingers on Braveheart, standing still while everything around him vibrates. In boxing, moments like this are deceptive, calm before chaos, silence before violence, and as the final notes fade and the roar swells, the sense is unmistakable. This will be a test of will, of conditioning, of whose philosophy survives when technique collides with pressure and pride. Then comes Edgard Moskvichev, fighting under the Russian flag, though his roots trace back to Moldova. A man molded by movement, adaptation, and survival. 27 years old, former Russian middleweight champion, Moskvichev enters with a resume built on persistence and volume, not glamour. 19 wins, 7 knockouts, 2 losses, 2 draws, a record that tells the story of a fighter who has seen every possible scenario the ring can offer. He is not here to admire the occasion. He is here to work. White trunks trimmed in gold, southpaw stance, a fighter who thrives in discomfort, who believes in numbers. Numbers of punches thrown, numbers of exchanges forced, numbers of moments stolen when opponents want space and are denied it. Titles have passed through his hands before, regional honors earned through grit rather than elegance, and he understands exactly what this opportunity represents. At 168 pounds, at 76.2 kilograms, this is the intersection of power and endurance, where mistakes are punished and fatigue becomes a weapon. The WBA Asia East title is announced, the crowd responds, and suddenly theory becomes reality. The bell rings, and from the opening seconds the contrast is clear. Sobirov stands tall, probing with educated jabs, shoulders relaxed, eyes sharp. Moskvichev advances, already testing the perimeter, already asking questions. And then it happens, the moment that shifts the emotional gravity of the fight. A brutal left hook to the body from Sobirov, perfectly placed, followed by a snapping shot upstairs. Moskvichev's balance betrays him. His knees dip, and he spills to the canvas in the opening round. The crowd gasps, then erupts. It is not panic in Moskvichev's eyes as he rises, but calculation. He breathes deep, steadies himself, survives the round. Yet the message has been sent. Braveheart has drawn first blood, and the arena understands something critical. This fight will not drift. It will surge, clash, and demand answers from both men. Round 2 opens with a question hanging heavy in the air. How much did that body shot take from Moskvichev, and how much can Sobirov extract going forward? The Uzbek fighter resumes his measured work. Jabs threading through guard, left hooks threatening both head and ribs. His punches are clean, economical, the kind judges appreciate. Moskvichev responds the only way he knows how, by refusing to retreat. He steps forward, shoulders rolling, arms pumping in relentless clusters, cuffing punches that may not carry perfect leverage but arrive in waves. This is his language. This is how he communicates resistance. Sobirov counters sharply. A right hand here, a hook there, but already the rhythm is changing. The knockdown has not broken Moskvichev, it has activated him. He accepts the exchanges, absorbs single shots to deliver 3 in return, and suddenly, the fight breathes differently. By the 3rd round, pressure becomes the dominant theme. Moskvichev's volume increases, his feet never stopping, his presence constant. Sobirov remains composed, answering with quality. Stiff jabs, Well-timed counters, hooks that land with authority. Yet each moment of success is followed by another swarm. The crowd begins to appreciate the dichotomy: precision versus persistence, craft versus compulsion. Sweat starts to glisten, breath becomes audible, and the bout settles into a competitive cadence. Sobirov's punches are still cleaner, still sharper, but Moskvichev's engine does not slow. He is willing to lose moments to win minutes, willing to be hit if it means he stays in his opponent's chest. This is no longer about the knockdown. This is about sustainability. As the middle rounds unfold, the fight transforms into a study of attrition. Sobirov continues to score with the better shots: crisp 1-2s, hooks that snap heads back, body punches that thud with intent. But Moskvichev's volume begins to tax the senses. He throws from angles, from close quarters, from awkward positions, punches that scrape gloves and shoulders before sneaking through. His style is not pretty, but it is exhausting to face. Round after round, he marches forward, forcing Sobirov to work, to pivot, to reset. Cuts begin to appear, swelling around eyes, blood threatening to become a factor. The crowd responds to the effort, every exchange drawing noise, appreciation growing for the sheer resolve on display. Sobirov breathes deeper now, still composed, but undeniably working harder. Moskvichev, despite absorbing the cleaner blows, looks oddly comfortable in the chaos he creates. The judges watch closely, tallying quality against quantity, impact against intent. And somewhere in these rounds, the question subtly shifts. It is no longer who is better technically. That answer seems clear. The question becomes whether excellence can withstand suffocation. Moskvichev does not need to dominate. He needs to crowd. He needs to blur the margins. And with every cluster, every forward step, he attempts to do exactly that. By the time the fight crosses into the later rounds, fatigue announces itself without invitation. Sobirov's movements lose a fraction of their spring, his combinations shortening as Moskvichev continues to press. Yet even now, the Uzbek fighter finds moments of brilliance. A sharp right hand down the pipe, a perfectly timed left hook that briefly halts the advance. These are reminders of his class, flashes that reinforce why he was favored. But Moskvichev answers every time. He absorbs, resets, advances again. His punches come in blizzards, not storms, relentless, stinging, accumulative. The crowd senses the tension rising. Every exchange feels weighted now, not just by scoring, but by symbolism. Sobirov represents refinement, structure, the idea that boxing is an art. Moskvichev represents labor, grind, the belief that willpower can bend aesthetics. In the 8th and 9th rounds, Sobirov shows signs of strain, cuts visible, breath heavy, yet still fighting back, still landing the more telling blows. Moskvichev, chin tested again, refuses to concede ground. This is where reputations are forged, not in dominance, but in endurance. Neither man looks for escape, neither man looks for mercy. They fight as if the belt is already wrapped around their waist, and someone is trying to tear it away. The 10th and final round begins to thunderous applause, the crowd fully invested now, standing in recognition of what they have witnessed. Sobirov starts fast, summoning reserves, snapping punches with urgency, knowing he must close strong. Moskvichev meets him head-on, as he has all night, willing to trade, willing to absorb. A left hook from Sobirov dips Moskvichev's knees, a moment that echoes the first-round knockdown. But again, astonishingly, Moskvichev stays upright, digs deep, and fires back. Leather flies, heads snap, arms burn. This is no longer technical discourse, this is survival. Sobirov lands perhaps the cleanest shots of the round, his quality undeniable, but Moskvichev's volume never relents. The 10-second clapper barely registers beneath the noise, as both men empty what remains in their tanks. When the final bell sounds, it brings not relief, but release. Applause cascading from every corner of the arena. Two fighters stand, exhausted, marked, but unbroken. Whatever the scorecards read, this contest has delivered something rare: honesty. As the fighters wait for the decision, the narrative crystallizes. Moskvichev, dropped early, battered late, yet relentless throughout, has shown a chin, a heart, and a gas tank that demand respect. Sobirov, forced to dig deeper than expected, has demonstrated why quality matters, why clean punching and ring intelligence still shape outcomes. The judges deliberate, weighing knockdowns against pressure, precision against persistence. When the announcement comes, unanimous decision for Ulugbek Sobirov. Emotion floods the ring, relief, validation, joy. Braveheart raises his arms, not in arrogance, but in acknowledgement of what it took. He has earned this. The WBA Asia East title is draped across his shoulder, heavy not just with gold, but with the memory of resistance overcome. Across the ring, Moskvichev accepts defeat with dignity, having gained something perhaps more lasting than a belt: recognition as a man who will not be moved easily, who forces opponents to earn everything. In the aftermath, highlights replay the devastating body-head combination of round 1, the grinding pressure of the middle rounds, the dramatic exchanges of the 10th. This was not a fight defined by a single moment, but by accumulation, by contrast, by philosophy. Sobirov's sharper tools ultimately proved decisive, but Moskvichev's volume ensured there were no easy answers, no comfortable minutes. This is what boxing offers at its best: a collision of ideas resolved only through effort and endurance. For Ulugbek Sobirov, the victory opens doors, rankings, opportunities, a clearer path forward. For Edgard Moskvichev, the loss does little to diminish his standing as a relentless competitor, capable of dragging anyone into deep water. And for those who watched, inside that echoing arena and beyond it, this fight stands as a reminder. Belts are won by skill, but respect is earned in the fire.